Hi, welcome to Salt City Knits. I'm Emily, and this is a podcast all about my making life. Thanks for joining me today. Today is Friday, June 14th, and I'm excited to be with you today. It's a beautiful, super hot, sunny day today, and yeah, I've got lots to share. So first of all, you can find me on Ravelry and on Instagram as Salt City Knits and as Yarnbrary. You can find all my patterns on Ravelry and at yarnbrary.com, and all my yarn at yarnbrary.com. So please, if you enjoy this video, make sure to click like thumbs up, to subscribe, and to comment on any of the projects that I share with you today. I have a little bit of a life update, what's going on in my life, and then I've got, 2 finished objects and a couple of works in progress to share with you. And then at the end, I'll have some lovely yarny shop news. And I think Richard's gonna join me for that part. So he hasn't been on for a few episodes. So that'll be fun to have him come and join me and share all the fun things we've been doing and what we've got going on. So first off, let's see, the last couple of weeks, we had our Knit Nights unbirthday party. I talked about that in our last episode. It was so delightful. My sister Deborah, who is Candy Shop Yarns, she hosted, and she just is an amazing hostess. She went above and beyond. We had so much fun, Alice in Wonderland themed decor. There were bread and butterflies hanging from the roof of the canopy that we were under. There was a little patch of mome raths and a sign that says "Don't step on the mome raths." There were teapots with flower arrangements. What else was there? There were other things. I can't even think of everything. Oh, she has these, I was gonna say garlands. That's not the right word. Like buntings that she made with decks of playing cards. How cute is that? So adorable. And everybody brought really fun gifts. We did a gift exchange. We had delicious food. We sat and knit and visited, and it was so delightful. I crocheted a little bucket basket thing and filled it with some tasty tea type things. I had a teacup and some little candies, and they were like lemon things. So lemon candies and some lemon hand wash, and I don't even remember everything that was in there. And then I put in a skein of my hand dyed yarn. And that one got stolen a couple of times and ended up with my friend Margaret. So here's a picture of her with her gift, and just a few other shots from our fun evening. Everybody ended up with such wonderful gifts. Nobody went home disappointed, that's for sure. And I got a gorgeous embroidered necklace and a really beautiful Rifle Paper Company puzzle from Ashley. I think it was Ashley who brought that. It was just so much fun. What a delightful time. So that was a big highlight. Let's see, after that, we've also been, I know I've talked about Heroic Youth, lots of Heroic Youth happenings. We had a day where we were filming videos. And so we were at a park for 13 hours, because filming always takes forever. And I was sitting in the shade. I mean, other than walk to the bathroom, walk to get something from the car, I was parked in thick, big, huge tree shade the whole time. And I got sunburned, and now everything is just kind of turned to a different color, but you can see the white lines. And you could see just how sunburned I got. I'm still really irritated around my neck and stuff. It was just, I don't know how much of that is because I've always sunburned really easily, but I feel like the older I get, the easier I sunburn. And I was wearing sunscreen and sitting in the shade, and I decided I need the SPF strength that I need to not get sunburned is called SPF House or SPF Inside. That's how it works. So, it's frustrating, but I'm fine. It's just a little, I've got that red irritation right here. So whatever. And then I had an amazing experience yesterday, and I've been joking with my husband about this all day today, because one of my favorite things in the whole world are Coke, like Slurpees, Coke Icy, Coke Slushy, whatever you want to call it. And I made one yesterday and it was magical. And so I told my husband, I have hit the pinnacle. Everything else in my life is downhill from here. Because that was the apex of my purpose in life, was to have the perfect Coke Icy. And I had it. And it was just, I'm a very silly person. But you know what? It was delicious. And I am trying it again today. We'll see if I can make it work a second time. There's this whole thing where you like put it in the freezer until it's not frozen, but almost frozen. And then you have to swish it. And anyway, we'll see if it works out again. Anything else exciting? Oh, little Miss Abby, our youngest, she is at a church camp this week. So it's been strangely quiet around here. I don't know why it seems so much quieter, because she's, you know, at that age where half the time she just wants to hang out in her room all day anyway. But it's easier to keep the house clean, I'll tell you that. Abby, wherever she walks, she leaves the evidence of her creativity and presence behind her, like a trail. So she's been having a great time, though. I know, because I haven't heard from her at all. And normally when she is away from home, she calls me and texts me constantly, but it has been almost none. Now she's with her cousin, and so I think that's a big part of it. I'm sure they're having the best time together. So I think that's kind of everything that's happening right now. Life is good. So let's get on with, let's start with finished objects. And I have 2 finished objects today. So the first, and I've showed both of these in progress last time. The first is this pair of socks, which I finished not too long after I showed them on the podcast last time. I just zipped through these super fast. So these are just a pair of vanilla socks, and I knit them with Candy Shop yarns. And I think I'll put it down below, but I think it's called Santa's Cookies or Christmas Cookies. I couldn't remember last time either, but it's just such a cute colorway. And so even though it's got a Christmas name, it's got a really just fun and bright feel. It doesn't look super, like it could only be for Christmas, right? So those were fun. I love them. I love how they turned out. So that's my first pair finished for, actually they were my second pair, for summer sock camp. They just are so fun. I love those speckles. I did a 2x2 rib, 64 stitches, 2.25 millimeter needle, and I did about 20 rounds of the cuff, knit the leg, then I did a heel flap and gusset with a slip stitch heel. Then I switched my colors about 5 rows before I needed to start the toe decreases, and did a rounded wedge toe. So they turned out great. I love them. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say about these. I cast these on for going to a movie, and they were perfect for working on in the movie. But then a lot of times I think I need to save these projects like this for like movie knitting, or when I'm in a meeting, or, you know, at church, things that are, you want to just not have to think about it and just work on. But then they were so fun. I just kept working on them and finished them up. So when my son and I went to a movie the other day, I didn't have any knitting to take. And I didn't want to cast something else on with what I'm trying to work on now. So I didn't take knitting to the movie, which is weird. All right, the second pair are my rainbow stripy socks, which don't have a name yet, but I love how these turned out. Aren't they so fun? I made these with my Rainbow Edit, the Color Library Rainbow Edit set, and then with a skein of parchment. And I actually was able to use parchment that was left over from knitting my Rainbow Bridge shawl. So it was great. I used up all of the 20 grams for these colors in the shawl. So this was a second set of minis, but the full skein, there was most definitely enough to do both with a little bit left over. So I love how those turned out. I love the cute cuff and that fun little detail along the front of the leg and the top of the foot. I love the colors. I just love everything about them. I think they're so fun. And they were so fast to make because it's just, you want to do the next color, the next color, the next color. It's just practically knit themselves. They were a blast. So this pattern is still not written up yet, but it should be by the next time I record a podcast. Get those out. Those are my only 2 finished objects, but I have 4 books in progress. One of them is spinning. So let me give you an update on the tea that I'm working on. After podcasting last time, I did decide I'm just going to go through and finish it. It's not done yet, but I have finished the body. It's been all wrinkled up in my bag, but I have finished the body and I love this detail down the side. This lacy seam down the side is just so pretty. I love how it looks. And so I need to finish the sleeves, which won't take me much time at all, and then add the neckband. And then it should be ready for blocking. And then I can look at it and decide what I think about the medallion. I've had a lot of people who said they liked the dainty medallion, and maybe we could do options with multiple sizes. So those are some fun ideas. I just need to make a decision about it. But I love how it looks as far as the side, and yeah, feeling really pleased. It's very simple in the back. It's so interesting to see the contrast on screen, on camera, because that's completely, I mean, it's very obvious on camera, but like practically invisible to my eyes, you know. So interesting. Yeah, so that's where we are. I did helical knitting for alternating skeins on this, and it's just the best way to alternate skeins in the round. It's so simple. You don't end up with visible, any kind of there's no line of where you change color. It just travels, and it's just amazing. I absolutely love that. And I actually started that helical knitting up in the yoke, like before I had divided for sleeves, which I hadn't done before. The only thing that could be tricky about that is if your helical, like your helical changeover spot, it travels, right? It travels through your knitting. So if it travels and you end up with it wanting to go past an increase point, you can end up with some confusion over whether you've increased or not. Let's see if I can explain this in a way that makes sense. So, you know, when I was knitting, you know, from here and moving this direction. So I started, my beginning of round was in the middle of the back. And so I started just a little bit to the side. And so, actually I lied. I started clear over here with my color change. And then that color change with helical knitting gradually moves this direction. Once it got to the point where it was going to cross over into my increase area, I would just you're working with a lower line of knitting and a higher line of knitting, and you're kind of alternating them so they travel like this. So like one goes out farther than the other. And so I would take this line of knitting and then just knit it back over to where the beginning of the row again. So where I had started in the first place. And then I would slip my stitches and then take that second row and move it over. And then I could start traveling my helical line over again. If you've done helical knitting, that will make sense. If you haven't, that probably made no sense. But it worked really well so that it didn't have to travel all the way around my sweater. I could keep it in a general range, and it worked great. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about this right now. This size, which is the third size of the pattern, is gonna take 3 skeins of yarn. I have just about finished. It'll go into the third skein, I should say. I've just about finished with the second skein, and I'm gonna break into the third one now so I can alternate as I'm doing sleeves. And then I won't worry about alternating, of course, while I'm doing the neckband, but so it will break into the third skein. I was thinking it might come out of just 2, but it does need the third one. So I've got that caked up and ready to go and just looking gorgeous. This beautiful color of Twain on contemporary sock. So contemporary sock, this base, wow, this is a tangly mess. What did I do here? Aha, there's my end. That's what I did. This base, I mean, it's a fantastic sock base. I also like it for shawls, sweaters, things that you want just a tiniest bit of drape too. So if you want, yeah, that little bit of drape, then I prefer this base. But biography sock, which is this is an 80-20 with 400 yards. It's a 2-ply. And so that's the one I'm talking about, that's got some drape to it. But my 85-15, which is an extra fine merino nylon, and it has 4 plies, I find is a squishier, bouncier, kind of plumper. Like, it doesn't have as much drape, it has more squish and rebound. And so I think it's great for cables, for socks, for anything that you want to kind of have that, like a cowl that you want to have kind of a close and cozy. I mean, it will do shawls and everything beautifully too, but I find that I reach for this one for shawls, and I reach for biography more for, like I said, socks. I mean, it would still also be great for sweaters, but things that you want more bounce to. It's not gonna have the same level of drape. So it's just a little bit of insight. It's fun to learn more about which bases do better for different things. I always love learning more about the yarn. All right, another work in progress is this cute little shawl. So we were driving Abby down to her church camp on Monday, and Richard was driving, and so I got to go on the ride, and it's about a 2-hour drive either way, each way. And so I wanted to take a project with me, and so I grabbed this skein. Well, this is a big messy ball now, big messy cake. This is Wick from my Secret Garden line. And I just think it's so fun and bright and zippy and oh, just pretty. So I grabbed that and I cast on a pair of socks, and then I got the cuff done, and I just thought, I don't really know what I want to make. And I tried a couple of different things, and I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't into it. And I ended up unraveling it. And so then I thought, I don't want to make socks right now. I just finished those other two pair of socks. I wanted to do something different. And I found this pattern. It is called Workday Scarf, and I will put the designer name in the show notes below. And it is a single skein scarf with this border that is knit along right at the same time. And there we go. It's kind of crumply, of course. but I think it is just so cute and fun. And it was a free pattern, super easy. It's got like, you're increasing for a certain amount of time and then you're just gonna start decreasing. It'll go back to a point, and it's the same 8 rows for all of your increases, and then the same 8 rows for all of your decreases. And at least I'm still on the increase portion, but at least for these increases, you only have to pay attention on 1 row of those. Now I changed it just a little bit. It calls for just garter stitch with a slip stitch edge, and I changed it to an I-cord border. So I ended up casting on 2 additional stitches. Yeah, I cast on 2 additional stitches. So what would have been the slip stitch edge, that 1 stitch is now 1 of my 3 I-cord stitch edges. And then there were the 2 additionals. And I just like how that looks. I think it's got such a nice, clean, sharp look to it. And it just increases very simply. It's just so easy and fun. And I believe that this is the scarf version, but there's also a shawl version. I don't know if the shawl version is also a free pattern, but it's not just fun and delightful. I love it. What a cute, cute idea. So it's so simple because, again, I'm just doing the same thing for 7 rows basically, and then I do the increase in eyelet, like the little section, the one that you have to pay attention to, but it's the same thing you've done all of these times. So it's just super easy to memorize. Yeah, it's just a blast. And I think that's going to be such a cute scarf. It's definitely a reversible. It looks great on both sides. So it's just going to be really fun. Fun way to use that one special skein of yarn. So again, I'll put the name of the pattern and the designer down below in the description box. But yeah, so fun. What are your favorite one skein projects? And bonus points if they're not socks. I mean, I love socks, and we are thick in summer sock camp right now. So I get that we're all thinking about socks, but just so we can like share and learn from each other. I would love if you would share what your favorite single skein non-sock projects are. Do you have a favorite hat that you like? Do you have a shawlette, a scarf, other accessories that you really love to make with a single skein of yarn? So yeah, comment below and tell me what you love. And then if you are looking for a project, go look in the comments below, and hopefully you'll get some ideas, and so will I. I love that idea. That would be wonderful. I always want to increase my range of, you know, fun things to put in my queue and to plan for. All right, I got to grab one thing. So now that I had finished with my bantam scarf, I knew I was ready to pull my granny stripe blanket back out. So here is where I am, not very far, but it's just such a delight. And this is where it was when I showed you, when I showed it to you last. So I've just added that much in, but it's just so delightful. This is the one color I'm not super happy with. I just don't love highly variegated yarns in crochet. I mean, there's something really fun about the way they cluster together, but also if they just stand out more. So it kind of catches your eye more. Now, as it gets bigger, it will do that less, but I love how it's turning out. And I think I'm gonna love this size. It's nice and wide. So here it is. It doesn't even fit in this. There we go. Here it is in half. So you can kind of get an idea of how wide it is. And it's just so fun. I'm just pulling all my scraps out. So this is my bag that I'm working with. This is a fun bag that I got as a gift from my sister Deborah. It's a Black Pearl Magic bag. And I am using a 3mm hook. So it's a little bit smaller than the last couple of blankets I made. I wanted it just a little bit tighter in the crochet, and I am a loose crocheter. So it's just turning out so much fun. And one of the great things about these granny stripe blankets is they're kind of self-finishing, meaning, you know, with crochet, there's no like live stitches other than your one that you've got on the hook. But when I finish a color, especially if I finish a color at the end of a row, I just knot it off. And so it's just, you know, there's no live stitch on it. And so it's easy to fold it up and put it away and come back to it. It looks like I've only got like 5 ends that I haven't woven in yet. You can't have 5 ends, Emily. There's always at least 6. I wonder where the other one is. Anyway, so that is just so fun and delightful to work on. And I have plenty of scraps to put in it, to add to it. Aren't those just fun though? It's just a fun bag. It's so stuffed, I can't close it. And I do have some really bright ones like this one, which is, what is this color? This is Limerick from my spring poetry. I've got a few of those because I knit those little stripy socks. I've got Limerick and Ballad. This is Haiku. I think I've already added in the other 2 from that set. But then I've got some that are just like, this one doesn't look like it's much less than that, but it is just a tiny little, here, come on, there we go. It's very floppy. There's not a ton left. And that is the leftovers from the mini in the Made the Match Myself set. Got like this tiny little ball. So some of these scraps, look at this one down here. If I can get to it, come on. Oh no, these are actually, apparently these are scraps of scraps. Why do I keep things like this? What am I gonna do with that? See, the problem with scraps is they multiply. They breed. I think that you put them in the bag, you close it up, and you come back and they have babies. This is a problem. But also, it's awesome. Okay, I think the last thing I have to share is some spinning. So I have been working on this beautiful basket, and it is beautiful here, but it is a frustrating project. This fiber, it's a 100% merino top. But I think that before I got it, it had been either sitting for a really long time or something. It's got a little bit of felting to it. So it is not drafting very easily. And I am not a super experienced spinner, so I have been battling with it a bit. So I've managed to finish this bobbin, which is it's very pretty. But it is not as even as I would like it to be. I've got places where I've got strands that fine. And then I have other places where, you know, they're like that. Which, you know, it's okay. But it's not what I wanted. It's not what I was hoping for. But I'm on the second bobbin now. I'm working through it a little bit at a time. But I'm looking forward to getting this done. I want to get this done by the end of the month and get it off my wheel, get it plied, washed, all the things. Because I'm really excited. This is the first year that I will be participating in the Tour de Fleece. And for those of you who haven't heard of this is a spin along. It's been around for a long, long time. In fact, I'll link you to an article that I found by the person who started it. And I think it's just a blog post. And talking about what her thoughts and plans had been, and then just how huge it has gotten over the years. And the whole idea for her originally, she's a cyclist and a spinner, was that while she watched the Tour de France, she would also spin, and she called it the Tour de Fleece, and she invited some other people to come along with her on that journey. And it got way big. Her thoughts were that it was going to be pretty niche, that people who liked to cycle and people who liked to spin would be the ones who would join in, or at least people who like to watch the tour. And but there's a whole bunch of us, like tens of thousands of us, who maybe don't have any interest in the Tour de France, but it's a great time for us to all spin together. And so I just really got into spinning last year in, I can't remember if it was October or November. And so this will be my first time doing it. And so my goal is just to do as much spinning as I can in July. I don't really have any like super major like goals that I'm setting about how much I want to accomplish, how much I want to finish. You know, I'm not going based on yards or the amount of grams or whatever. I just want to try and focus as much as I can on some spinning extra in July and being good about posting about it. That's the other part. So that's why I want to get this fleece, this finished. It's not a fleece, it's top, but get this top finished, get it done, start fresh with some beautiful things. And I will show you next time some of the gorgeous fibers I'm planning on working with during that spin along. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it a lot, actually. I still feel kind of like an imposter when it comes to spinning, but it really is just amazing. It's funny though, how easily there's this out of sight, out of mind thing about spinning. I don't remember if I mentioned this on my last episode, but for a little bit we had people over, and at one point Richard had moved my wheel up to his office just so it was out of the way while we had guests, and then it stayed there for a few months. And during that time, it was like I forgot that I even spun. I don't know. And then finally we brought it back down. I was like, oh yeah, I love this. Let's do this some more. So I need it in my line of sight, and then I do it. It's good. All right, let's talk about some yarn, and I'm going to get Richard to come and join us, okay? All right, so Richard was joking that he thought I didn't want to bring him back on the podcast because the last time he was on...
It was a joke, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't. We've just been busy doing different things. So I'm glad that he's here with me today, and we're going to show you some fun stuff.
I still think it was funny.
It was pretty funny. The kids thought it was funny. Our kids don't even watch they don't watch this podcast, but Richard started telling, I don't remember who it was about it, this joke that he told that he thought he was very clever. You did get me. You totally got me on it.
That was the best part to me.
And they're like, wait, I want to see. So we found it for them, and it was funny.
It was fun.
All right, so we have a new colorway that I'm excited to share with you. And yeah, here it is. Our friend Becky came up with the name for this. It's Book Boyfriend. I told Richard about it. He's like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
You guys know what that means, right? What's your definition of what's a book boyfriend? I want to hear. I love it though. Isn't that pretty? It's blues and purples. Really, just luscious. So here it is on contemporary stock. And that'll be in the shop by the time this is live. It's not right this minute, but it will be by the time that this video goes up. So that is our new sock set. And we still have a lot of sock sets. We have Summer Book Fair. We have some Jane Austen ones. So like we have Made the Match Myself, Highbury, Grounds at Pemberley. We have some Little House sock sets. So we've got lots of sock sets right now. Oh, I love that one. It's so pretty. Beautiful. Okay. We also, last month, our colorway of the month was Swashbuckle, and you guys loved it. Thank you so much for all of those of you who purchased Swashbuckle. Hope you're enjoying it. This month, we're using one of our author colorways. I like this. You're like my Vanna White.
That was your Vanna White. No, never
Oh, you would be holding it.
Never mind.
Wait. Okay, good. Let's keep you in line, dear. So this is Alcott. And this is our colorway of the month for June. So that means it's on 30% off all of the month of June on all the bases that are listed. So there's 4 bases. So I'm showing here on Biography. Well, that's Squish. And then here it is on Contemporary. And on Classic DK. It's so pretty. Very nice, dear. Yeah.
You're probably going to regret having me back on, aren't you?
Well, it's not if I regret it. It's if our viewers are like, don't bring him back.
Well, that's what I thought would happen. I thought I was being punished for something.
You're being punished?
That's what I thought.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So yes, Alcott is on sale for the rest of June. And then we'll have a new colorway on sale for July. So we also have some sale right now. We are clearing out 2 of our collections so we can bring in some new things. And so these are the 2 colorways that we have left from our Narnia collection. This is Deeper Magic and Once a King or Queen. And so those are both in the shop. And all of these ones that I'm about to mention, they are 20% off right now. So those are 20% off. And they're just available in Biography. But then we have Secret Garden that we are clearing. And it is available on Contemporary. And then I think most of them are also available. Here, you're going to have to hold those 2. Yeah, most of them are available on Contemporary and Biography. And so this is the Secret Garden collection. And these are all 20% off as well. So this is Mistress Mary. This is Wick. I showed that earlier in that scarf I'm knitting. Oh, this is In the Garden, which I love so much. Look at that. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love pinks.
This one's Misselthwaite.
Misselthwaite.
Isn't this one Dickon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
I can read this.
So all of these are on sale as well. I really want to do something with all of them together. Oh, they just look so pretty. Look at that. I love that one so much. Oh man. They're yarn babies. I love the yarn babies.
Okay, you have your yarn boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I've got a yarn boyfriend. We'll have yarn babies. This is a book boyfriend. Okay, so I am not one to have book boyfriends because I have the best one already. But if I did, I can tell you who it would be. And it would be from, it's not Mr. Darcy. It's not like, I don't know, what's his name? Jamie from Outlander. Mine is Captain Jack Elliott from the book These Is My Words by, what's her name? Oh, These Is My Words. And then the subtitle is The Diary of, oh, dang it. Okay, I'll link it below. But his name is Captain Jack Elliott. Such a good book. Such a good book. What is her? Nancy Taylor. I feel like I'm saying the wrong thing. Okay. Don't believe what I say. Believe what's in the show notes below. But I want to hear, who would your book boyfriend be? Isn't that fun? If you had a book boyfriend, it would be Aragorn.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not really into that. Yeah, no, because I like Sam. In the
Oh,
story
Sam's
better.
amazing.
He's better a hero, but a boyfriend. Yeah.
I think Sam is a book husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
All right. Well, anything else we need to talk about?
Not that I know of.
Richard has been liking to tell everybody this little saying about what he does. People are like, "So what are you up to for work these days?" And he tells them, I've been working for my wife. I've been
Yep.
dyeing yarn, and then he always tell people,
I do. Like, as long as I dye a little every day, we'll be fine. But some days I dye a lot.
yeah. And then we also realized, he doesn't dye outside. He dyes.
Yes, I
On the
dye
inside.
inside a little every day.
These are the things that keep us going. What can I
And I'm
say?
stronger for it.
You're stronger for it. All right.
Because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back either in a week or 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll be back next week. You'll be camping.
Yeah.
So then it'll be easier for me to record without you here.
I'll be in my room pretending I don't exist.
Making no noise
Making
and pretending I
noise.
don't exist. Yeah. All right. I hope you have a great weekend, a great next week, and we'll talk to you soon. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.